What's up guys, Max here, and I got a couple of pieces of news and information that are somewhat related, and some stuff that is a follow-up to that Capcom vs. SNK 2 petition, and a few videos that we released a bit earlier. So, I'm going to break off the ice of the bad news is that we're not going to be getting a Capcom vs. SNK 2 HD remake with online features of that anytime soon, but what was recently released was CVS 2 as the PlayStation 2 title, released on PlayStation Network for like PlayStation 3 users. What I'm really excited about is that this came out in Japan along recently with Capcom Fighting Evolution or Capcom Fighting Jam. And people get to play these games now. It's like you get to play them on your current generation systems without having to dig up your PlayStation 2, old arcade sticks, and whatnot. But the interesting thing is that from some recent news from Sven at Capcom, it looks like these games might actually be seeing releases for the PlayStation Network in the US sometime next year. He left a pretty big fair amount of news and information in a recent blog post saying that the timing and the release of these games is most likely going to happen in the US, and we're finally going to get CVS 2 and Capcom Fighting Evolution, so maybe Capcom heard a little bit of our pleas to bring these games to the States. And for me, it's like, I want to see an HD remake, I want to play these games online, but at the same time, I just want more people to enjoy some of these older fighting games, to understand a little bit of the history of where they come from and what would make later fighting games potentially better, you know what I mean? Anyway, so that's pretty awesome that these games are finally going to see a release, at least in the US and not just in Japan. Because Capcom Fighting Evolution, for you guys might know, is like the black sheep of Capcom fighting games. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in the latest Sounding Off video where we talk about the latest Capcom fighting games. Nonetheless, the other news that is related to this stuff is the fact that Capcom just today released a survey, a digital download survey for everyone to fill out that is a fan of old Capcom titles, like myself especially, and really loves older Capcom games. For you guys that don't know what this survey is, it's gauging the interest of the audience, and this is extremely important. Usually surveys like this are made from fans, petitions, things like that, but this is actually coming from direct executives at Capcom USA to see how many people would be interested in purchasing certain games like HD re-releases of Mega Man X, re-releases of the Onimusha series, Power Stone coming out, things like that. These games are, I think, critical. Like, the fact that we haven't seen a Mega Man X remake on consoles and things like that, I think is kind of a bummer, and the fact that games like Onimusha, which were totally amazing, Power Stone, which was one of the most fun fighting games you can possibly play, amongst many other titles on this list. Like, there's a lot of stuff on here, guys, that would be amazing to see a remake. You guys have to check this survey out, so if you check Capcom Unity, or I'll put a link below, please take the survey. It asks you what games you would like to see and what games within each one of the series that you would like to purchase, or which ones that you would be interested in purchasing. This is not for retail release, this is for digital distribution only, because for a lot of you guys that don't know, making retail games releasable now, and amongst like the current day and age when you have like these HD remakes or remakes of older games that can kind of be expensive, it's much more of a possibility that the game would even exist in a digital form than a retail form nowadays. And I'm not really attached to the fact of there being a box included. I just kind of want to play these old games and share them with people like I've been doing on this channel for so long. So please do me a huge favor, take this survey and at least show them a little bit of the interest of the games and the older games that you might like to see be re-released in an HD format or anything. So do me a huge favor, take that survey, check this stuff out, and get excited, because there's a chance we might see some pretty badass HD remakes in the near future. And stay tuned to the next episode of Sounding Off, talking about the next Capcom fighting game, and what makes these games so good is going to be coming very soon. And if you guys missed the previous episode of Sounding Off, we were talking about old Capcom versus new Capcom, and how Street Fighter Cross Mega Man came to be. But until next time, thank you all very much for watching. My name is Maximilian, and I'll see you guys later.